What really matters to me is how the wrestling community came together and brought back the sport they loved through several long months, countless hours, support, and the struggles of the athletes' dreams being crushed. In 2013, the year wrestling was cut, wrestling was ranked 6th of all boys' sports in terms of participation in high school. Baseball and softball and squash were thrown up on the chopping block along with wrestling by the International Olympic Committee, or the IOC, for the 2020 Olympic Games. For me, this was a no-brainer as to which sport should have been cut. Baseball and softball aren't even played worldwide, and squash has a niche market that barely exists. Wrestling has been a core sport since the modern Olympics began. On the other hand, wrestling is also practiced almost everywhere, which is why it won the overall votes. The elite sports in the world are influenced media coverage greatly, and that was heavily shown by wrestling. All over ESPN, when they would mention the IOC cutting sports, wrestling would be the only sport debated about due to its popularity worldwide. The quest to return the sport into the Olympics started with the wrestling community alone. A campaign began, run by the sport's two biggest icons, named Terry Brand and Dan Gable, was called Let'sKeepWrestling.com. Seeing that the kids' role models were defending the sport influenced all the participants to campaign and fight for the sport. In the sport of wrestling, the ultimate goal was to go to the Olympics and win gold. If all the participants didn't have a shot at the gold, then what was the point of excelling at an elite stature? Wrestling doesn't have pros like other sports, but every wrestler's goal is to one day wrestle in college and have a shot at qualifying for the Olympics. All the athletes would also love to represent their country against the other big countries, which shows nationalism. As a person who loved and played the sport, I needed to do something to step up and to save the sport that I played for all my life. Although I wasn't going to excel in it, wrestling has shaped me into who I am and has developed me and other wrestlers to have qualities such as resilience, diligence, and commitment. In an effort to keep the sport alive, the wrestling community decided to create a petition and needed as many signatures as possible in order to send it to the IOC. Surprisingly, this time around was when our district and regional tournaments were happening. So what better way than to get everyone's signature and even raise money for athletes in my area looking to excel at the next level. So, for the next tournaments, we started selling shirts that said Save Wrestling and had several tables set up for everyone to sign their names. We compiled all the names together and had over 800 signatures by the end in the effort to save wrestling. We immediately sent the petition and signatures to Let'sKeepWrestling.com, and they inserted them and compiled them with everything they had, and then those were sent to the IOC. The better part of this is that the community came together to raise enough money where we were able not only to help save wrestling at the Olympic level, but now we have a Keep Wrestling Alive Scholarship Award, given in my district to one wrestler for the next 5 years who is looking forward to continuing wrestling at the collegiate level. I wish more people campaigned for wrestling, but it was an awesome feeling to see how the participants and spectators came together to save such an important sport to them in wrestling, and even helped to continue the dreams of some participants. That was truly amazing.